What's up, guys? It's your commissioner here speaking. Almost didn't make this video because it was a potential redraft situation, but here I am, back at it. This video is sponsored to you by Welch's Juicefuls. Very good. All right, let's get into this bad boy. So I gotta say, probably one of the most balanced seasons, or excuse me, drafts that I've seen. The tiers are they're kind of fuzzy. I'm gonna be listing out everybody's teams, probably at least the starting lineup for people who probably feel like it's most common for people to listen to this on a long drive or something. So I'm definitely there's definitely it's going to be a bigger blob, honestly, this year. The middle, I usually tier it. I might only have one or two in the top tier, but I definitely have two in the bottom, and I might add more. But the first one, I didn't like his team last year. Not feeling it this year. Alejandro. I really thought the double RB strategy. Oh my God! Don't be lagging on me here. Oh, brother, is it really going to be like this? Hold on. All right. Apologies for the technical difficulties. We're going to have some lag in this show, but holy crap. Okay. So, our first team, Alejandro. The starting lineup is CJ Stroud. Running backs are Bijan and Josh Jacobs. His three wide receivers are Higgins, DK, and Devontae Smith. Tight ends Laporta, and his two flexes are Brees Hall and Cooper Kupp. So, the number one thing that kind of is going to be the theme of this year is if you don't have for me personally, if you don't have an elite wide receiver one, and you don't have an elite tight end, and you don't have an elite quarterback, you better have the best running back core. And when we look at his running back core, he's got Bijan, Josh Jacobs, Brees Hall, and Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. Now he's got his backup in Braylon Allen for Brees Hall. I believe in Brees Hall, but you can't say this is the strongest running back core. I think there's some other running back cores that are almost just as good. He's got two quarterbacks in Jordan Love and Stroud that just don't run the ball. So, okay, does he have the depth? Okay, we have Tyler Algier, so he has these two handcuffs, and you're going to hear me later talk about how I wish I took Zach Charbonnet as my handcuff. It actually statistically proven that having your handcuff is actually worse for you most years than not. You're better off taking a shot at some rookie, just somebody in that range, somebody else's handcuff, than locking your backfield up. Mostly because if we look at, for example, Brees Hall, we think Braylon Allen is going to be the backup and is the surefire guy to become the workhorse after him. But what if they can't run the ball? What if the O line sucks? Well, just whatever it is, you wasted this hypothetical where if your running back got hurt, you got a worse running back that's barely a starter. Then you got the whole scenario where if Brees Hall went down and if Bijan went down, you're already probably playing catch up anyways, and you could have used that upside rookie or upside whatever. So Devontae Smith, DK Metcalf, they're in run first offenses. I think even if Aaron Rodgers, Steelers will be run first. T. Higgins, he had that 40 ball at the end of the season. You guys know me. I love T. Higgins. He's one of the few guys I always consider injury prone. He's going to miss a couple games. Is Cooper Kupp washed? Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt on the bench, 7th round rookie. Now Brian Robinson left, so he's probably not a scrub, but he's 24 years old, doesn't have a receiving back profile. So this is just the kind of team where it's really simple. I don't see this upside where it's going to win it all. And I feel like it could get ugly fast. I feel like week 1, it could be Cooper Kupp is cooked and Breece Hall is in a committee. And, DK Metcalf, even, Rodgers is washed. So you're really left with T. Higgins and Devonta Smith. I don't know. I think maybe I'm a little biased because last year I had Saquon and Bijan. I had the number 1 tight end in Brock Bowers, and I still finished 3rd place. And I think I was like 4th in points. So some people, I know we got a lot of Lions fans in here. They like Sam Laporta. I think where he took Sam Laporta, he should have just taken out another wide receiver. Jordan Addison, it is a lot of player takes for me. I like Rashad Bateman, but Michael Wilson and Jack Bech, I think they're going to be zeros. Like I didn't really see the reason for those picks. And then, I like Bateman, could be a good flex, but Addison, when I meant by player takes is I just don't think JJ McCarthy is going to be able to support 3 pass catchers. So you have a guy he's not going to be playing for 3 weeks. Is he going to win you your league? You're probably hoping that he's better than Cooper Kupp for you at the flex. So yeah, just a team. It's safe with the handcuffs. I did like that. But I think there's just better out there. And again, when I have it last year and the year before, the teams that were in last place, I really thought they were bad. This year is more of, I thought there's just such a big jumble. I'm taking out the teams that either have really bad floors or terrible ceilings. That one was more of just no upside flexes really. And I guess he has Breece Hall, but either there's just a red flag somewhere, basically. I'm not being very well spoken right now. All right, next up is Josh's team. Now this one is just simply got screwed by I'm gonna keep this one short. Got screwed by the auto pick somewhat on the bench, but does have a pretty formidable starting lineup. He's honestly in this tier simply because of the floor. The floor is bad. If he has 1 or 2 injuries, he's going to be in big trouble, namely Aaron Jones. Jonathan Taylor, I consider him injury prone as well. Rome Odunze, there's a lot of competition. I believe in the talent, but if he's even he could improve and be wide receiver 17. That's not going to win it. That's not going to win it for him. But if Brock Bowers and Kittle hit, and he's got basically 2, that's like if Brock Bowers hits his absolute ceiling, he's a wide receiver 1 at the flex, and Kittle is a wide receiver 2, high-end wide receiver 2 at the flex. Then does it really matter that if his team stays healthy? Does it matter if his bench is boo-boo? Okay. Sorry, I didn't name his team. It's Jaden Daniels, Jonathan Taylor, Aaron Jones. Wide receivers are JJ, Zay Flowers, Rome Odunze. Tight end is Brock Bowers, and his flexes are Kittle and Dobbs. So the problem is he doesn't need another wide receiver. I think that's where it is if a guy goes down. But I think he can make a trade. Caleb Johnson, he's not getting a lot of good news in camp. Warren just got a contract, but he's at the end of the day, he's a rookie. He might start balling out at the end of the year. You throw him at the flex. Ultimately, Zay Flowers is just, I kind of put him in like talented guy, but he's on a run first offense. Aaron Jones, injury prone does kind of scare me. But hey, if somebody else's quarterback gets hurt, you got Purdy, Dak, Caleb Williams, maybe that could be something. I really believe in Coker. He's on IR, unfortunately, recent addition to IR, but I think he could be a good PPR flex halfway through the season. So there's a path for this to be a playoff team. I think the difference between this team and Alejandro's team, I think this one has a higher ceiling. It just has to stay healthy. JJ could be a top 5 wide receiver, could be the top number 1 or 2. And then after that, you got Jaden Daniels, I believe in a sophomore slump, but I'm not going to sit here and just bet against a rushing quarterback that he's going to suck and be like QB7. He could still have a top 5 QB. Taylor and Jones could be a good enough running back core. It's mostly the tight ends. If we have if this is a bad tight end year where 3 or 4 people are hitting the waivers each week trying to scrounge for anybody who can get them 8 points, this could be a nasty team. If all the rookies hit, Warren, Loveland, Evan Ingram stays healthy, and Njoku is good again, then this team probably will be a pretty mediocre team. So now we're getting to the mid level. This one, if I put you one person in front of the other, I don't think you can think about it too much because, I wouldn't take it too personally unless I actually say something. I mean, you guys shouldn't take this personally anyways, but the next guy we got is Hunter's team. Now, Hunter's team is a little complicated in the fact that starters, Baker Mayfield. 2 running backs are Derrick Henry, King Henry, and Kyron. Receivers are Neighbors, McLaurin, Mike Evans. Tight end is Njoku. Flexes are DeAndre Swift and Austin Eckler. So this is kind of one of those teams where I don't like the players, but with the tiers, he took guys like at the end of their tiers. Now, I don't think he did that on purpose. I honestly don't even do that. I have mental tiers. I don't actually have like a full-on list of tiers or follow a tier list online where for value, I always take the bottom one. But what I mean by that is that he's got DeAndre Swift at the flex. I don't like DeAndre Swift, but DeAndre Swift at the flex, if he's the workhorse for the Bears and the Bears are a great offense, that's a good flex. Austin Eckler, I don't like Austin Eckler, but they got rid of B-Rob. What if Ja'Cory Cross-Schemier just sucks? He's a 7th-round rookie running back. Then Austin Eckler is a great second flex. Mike Evans. I feel like Mike Evans is going to be, I think this is the year. He's 32. I really think he might give you a good start, but especially when Godwin, McMillan, you got 4 guys in there, I think the offense is going to regress. I do think Mike Evans, I wouldn't want him as one of my top wide receivers, but guess what? It's his wide receiver 3. Then he's got Neighbors who got a tough schedule. He's got a tough schedule. It could get ugly fast. They could get Russ out of there to try out the rookie, and it could be, no touchdown upside. But again, it's Neighbors. He's one of the most talented wide receivers already in the league. So this team, it really is. This team it's honestly like Hunter's team last year. If his bench was just a little better, I would be all up in it. But it's Jaden Reed. He's playing through a fractured foot all year. Okay, if it wasn't that, I'd be into that. Cam Skattebo could be good, but when you win, what do you win? Let's say he does beat out Tyron Tracy. I don't think he will. When he wins, he's going to start over Eckler at your flex. The Giants' offense is not good. I feel like you should have taken more shots at wide receiver. Like Christian Kirk could be. I like the pick. I think it'd be good at like your second flex occasionally, but I would have liked to see more upside rookie wide receivers. Any upside, like a second year, maybe even though I don't like this guy, I think a Ricky Pearsall would be a great addition to this team and the flex. And I think you took Skattebo there. And then Xavier Legette, seems like everyone's hurt except him and Tet. I'm not a big fan of Xavier Legette, so maybe that works out. But again, Blake Corum, Woody Marks, you got these backup running backs that aren't going to be full-on workhorses if something does go wrong. And then you have 3 tight ends, which you don't need. But hey, it's good enough. It's good enough. It's not a team that I'm just going to bury. I don't like some of the players like Terry McLaurin. Like the history of players who sit all out on contracts is not good. We saw Ayuk last year. CeeDee Lamb was not good last year. I think 2 years before that was Josh Jacobs after his big season. So when you sit out all year, I'm already not a big fan of Terry McLaurin. So if you try hard on the waivers, this will be fine. I gotta say, main reason, when I was looking at, I did a draft in another league and I saw like 6 people make the playoffs. I gotta say, this video would be way harder to make if there were 6 people making the playoffs instead of 4, because you can just make a pretty strong case that any of these guys could be top half of the league. But we're trying to look for the best of the best here. We're trying to look for some consistency. We're trying to look for some upside, and with Noah's case, the upside's a little scary here. So one of the good things about this team right off the bat is There is there's upside on the bench. I think it has some of the best upside maybe on the bench. I don't see the upside in the starting lineup. Okay. The double running back, Saquon, Ashton Jeanty, it could be amazing. It could be really, really good. And I think that's going to be his strong point of his team. Lamar Jackson, strong point of his team. All right, he's elite there. Everything else, major question marks. Major question mark. He really went the route of, I'm going to go for targets. I missed out on the guys on good offenses. So I got Garrett Wilson, Calvin Ridley, Ted McMillan, Jakobi Meyers. I think they're all going to get targets. But that's what this Noah's team is going to rely on this season. If it's going to be through the starting lineup, it's can these quarterbacks, Cam Ward, Justin Fields, Bryce Young, Geno Smith, can these guys carry your team to the playoffs? Because I don't think it's just good. I don't think Jeanty and Barkley's enough. I don't think it is. Jeanty's going to have to be historical. And as someone who's watched a bit too much Raiders, that O-line is not good. They were the worst run, efficiency-wise, like running last year. They were the worst. Now, obviously, that's why they went and got Jeanty. But this kind of like there's a big difference between RB7 and RB2. And this team feels like it has to be RB2. Calvin Ridley, he's going to get peppered. There's a big difference between wide receiver 15. I think he could end up easily be wide receiver 24. Jakobi Meyers is requesting a trade. Basically, the wide receivers could just fall out. And his backup is he's got Ricky Pearsall, which a lot of people love. That could get crowded real quick second half of the season. So again, a little higher, a little better than some other teams because I like the bench. Zach Charbonnet, Jordan Mason. I do like Pearsall. I like 2 and 2. That's really good. It's just your flexes, like Tet is pretty good at flex. He's got a hammy. Jakobi Meyers, I already said, it's not instilling confidence. Historically, wide receivers who are not elite, and don't have elite pass catchers, you fall into the, well, I could have just picked somebody up off the waivers instead of drafting Jakobi Meyers or Calvin Ridley, or even Garrett Wilson that high. Now Marvin Harrison, I love Marvin Harrison. Nothing's changed. I can't sit here and say that he's going to just absolutely turn it around. And that's my worry. We're on a 3 wide receiver. I guess that's the best way I'm going to summarize Noah's team because it is better than all 3 of the other teams easily. I would take his team over the 3 previous teams I mentioned. It's just that in a 3 wide receiver league, to have 5 guys that I honestly wouldn't be shocked if any of them didn't finish in the top 12. That's scary. That's pretty scary because then you're relying on your upside. Besides Lamar and Saquon, you're relying on a rookie on the Raiders running back and Tucker Kraft to be your difference makers on your team. So, yeah. There's that. Next up. Who did I want to put? Oh, yeah, we'll go with Max Wellington. Man. I was kind of disappointed that none of you guys really said anything to me about Michael Parsons. Anyways, got Max's team. And honestly, I just look at this team. I would take Noah's team over this team. I'll be honest. So, Noah, you're more like straight down in the middle. You're like 5th. You might go up. I don't know. So, starting lineup here, Justin Herbert. Running backs are Devon Achane, James Cook. Wide receivers are Amon-Ra St. Brown, Xavier Worthy, DJ Moore. Tight end is TJ Hockenson. And flexes are Omarion, Hampton, and Deebo Samuel. So, what's good about this team? A lot of stuff is good about this team. What's elite about this team? Nothing. That's kind of how we are. This is gonna be if he stays healthy, he'll be in playoff contention. I just I worry about some of these players, the players they chose. I think Devon Achan is like my favorite player in fantasy. I think he could be the number one overall player. Uh, I think he's insane. But coming into the season with the calf injury, that's why I personally didn't take him. But other than that, I got stuff I can say about all these guys. Justin Herbert lost his left tackle for the season. The top three best left tackles in the league, Rashawn Slater. That's going to affect the rookie Hampton too. Najee Harris, his Omari Hampton's price got shot up, and then the day after we drafted, I think the Najee, I think came out, or it was the day of. I think that Najee was going to play week 1, and then he fell. So you kind of got screwed there a little where you took him. It is what it is. But yeah, I have question marks about that offense now. DJ Moore, I'm just out on DJ Moore. Target competition, his analytics, he dropped a little last year. I'm just out. I'm just out. Even at wide receiver 3, I know Hunter has Josh has Rome Odunze at wide receiver 3. I think he took him like 20 spots later than DJ Moore, and I think has the better upside. James Cook, he is on a good offense, and I could be completely wrong about this, but when I think he had like 17 touchdowns last year on less than 50% of the snaps, I'm just going to bet for regression he's not going to be the same guy. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown, lose the court. You guys have all heard it. Lose the coordinator, offensive line, lose 2 linemen. Are they going to suck? No. Could have seen them run the ball more, and if the defense stays healthy, they're not going to be in as many shootouts. So Hockenson is just whatever. He's not a net positive, net neutral. That's why with tight ends, I'm like, go great or late. Because Hockenson, you still have to take him 60th. I think you took him over a lot of rookie wide receiver. You took him over a lot of second-year guys. And he's not much different, I think, than a Tyler Warren this year at pick 110 or whatever. So I do like Deebo Samuel because of the scheme. Cliff Kingsbury loves his screens. So he could be washed and still be productive. And with Terry sitting out a lot, Deebo got a lot of the one wide receiver 1 action. And I think Chris Olave on the bench is a good okay, you're on a terrible team, but you're a talented player. Go out on the double flex and get me 13. And who knows, maybe they give him the ball so many times he can have a couple 20-point games. But besides that, on the bench, Jake Ferguson, Jared Goff, Amari Cooper, Justice Hill, no, those are all zeros for me. Marvin Mims could be a boom bust flex that I don't even think you had the draft, but excuse me, we do have special teams points, so no, that's actually a good pickup. My apologies. Tank Bigsby doesn't catch passes, but I do respect the Jacksonville Jaguars sweepstakes. I'm a little biased because I took one of them, and I might have taken the crustiest one. That was my panic pick right there. And then Nick Chubb, if Joe Mixon is out all year, Nick Chubb could be a sluggish workhorse for you. Bottom line with this team is I'm just not feeling it. I'm sorry. It's hard sometimes to make these videos because I got so much into the numbers. I have some player take some bias. I'm trying not to be biased. I don't really have much bias against these players. It's just this team, if it's fully healthy, I don't think it's striking fear in anybody's heart. And I just want to mention at the end, Xavier Worthy. He's probably, I guess, the X factor of this team. I will say I've never been a big fan of Worthy. I know at the end of the year he started balling out. I just don't believe in him. Even Rashid Rice being out for 6 weeks, that actually boosted this team a little. I know I boosted up some of the other Chiefs people who own Chiefs players. I just don't believe in the guy. I don't think he's a target hog. I think he might be a deep threat. And when you're a boom bust guy, deep threat, Patrick Mahomes has been terrible with the deep ball. That's your wide receiver 2. And I don't think you have a top 3 running back core. And I don't think you're elite at QB. And I don't think you're elite at okay. And I still have you middle of the pack. I'm being a little mean here. All right, next. I think the caffeine is kicking in. Next was here. We'll put Jacob. Okay. So Jacob's team is Kyler Murray. Running backs are Jahmyr Gibbs and Chuba Hubbard. Wide receivers are A.J. Brown, Devontae Adams, and Jackson Smith-Njigba. Tight end is Mark Andrews. Flexes are Jameson Williams and R.J. Harvey. So I'll be honest. I'll take this team over my team, actually, now that I look at it. Just in like an unbiased, like I'd still want my team, but in a vacuum, I think this team is more solid. And the reason why I'm compared to my team is because I haven't announced my team yet. So I don't want you guys thinking that I think my team's way better than this team. So a couple of the negatives of this team. I have some negatives about Jackson Smith-Njigba, but he's his third wide receiver. That's pretty good. I don't like Jahmyr Gibbs and Jameson Williams on the same team, but Jameson Williams is his flex. That's not bad. I like R.J. Harvey a lot at the second flex. A lot. That might be my favorite second flex in this league. They got a great offensive line, even if he doesn't have money touches. Just the pass-catching running back who can take it to the house. So he's like a juiced-up Eckler. Now, he's not as good of a pass catcher as Eckler, but, they're both on good offenses. Denver has a much better O-line. Anyways, I'm a little worried about A.J. Brown's hammy. Now, A.J. Brown, I've been throwing this stat around. I heard about it. He only had 32 second-half targets. I've been telling some people, one or two people, my first two picks, they were going to be Devon Achane and A.J. Brown. So I love A.J. Brown this year. I think the defense has regressed just enough. The Eagles' defense has regressed just enough that they will pass a little more, where A.J. Brown will become an absolute monster. Like, absolute, but like he could be amazing, but it's just the hammies. The hammy had a hamstring injury last year. Missed a whole bunch of camp. Now the questionable tag is off. But still, I have my I don't believe in Chuba Hubbard. Maybe it's because I am salty over what happened to my baby Brooks. Prayers are for Jonathan Brooks. But I just don't. I'm not buying the Panthers. I think he might be like honestly, he could be a replacement level. I could see him having Chuba Hubbard, and he's like 13, 14 points per game. I know he has some great stretches, but he's not a good pass catcher. He's not on a team that's going to score a lot. I question the talent. Is he extremely talented? He's good in some metrics. Yeah, let's go to the bench. Diggs, Keon Coleman, Rashid Shaheed, Rachaad White, Adam Thielen, Najee, Trey Harris, Darren Waller. This is, I think, why I remember not putting this team in the top tier. I don't really like any of these guys. I'm not going to go in here, bang, bada bing, bada boom. I could see Keon Coleman push up. And they just signed Gabe Davis. Now, I know that Gabe Davis is a good blocker in the running game. I think that's why they re-signed him. If Keon Coleman is good, he's not going to Gabe Davis is not going to be a threat to him. Shakir has a high ankle sprain. He's got Rashid Shaheed. Now, if you guys don't remember, 7 with the special teams points, and then tore his ACL, and I think Hunter had him. So we may be sleeping on that. He's actually, yeah, he's a wow. Hold on. I got to see this. When did he take Rashid Shaheed? 117th. Okay, yeah, that could be a steal. That kind of changes it. This is a pretty good team. I think this is a top 3 team. I think I'm going to take it back. Kyler Murray is a rushing QB. When you have a rushing QB, you just know you're not going to have the 10th best QB. Even last year, Kyler Murray, he was frustrating. I think he was QB 7 or 8. I think he was like 8 or 9, I think. So, and then when they have great games, they'll have a 30 ball. So, Mark Andrews, man, I think you could have just streamed or something. And then Diggs, I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. That's all I'm going to say with him. 30-plus-year-old coming off an ACL. When you do that, I don't care if you're the number one option in the team. At best, you can be as a flex. So, excuse me. Yeah, I'm moving Jacobs' team up a little higher. It's kind of funny. I don't remember how I ranked Jacobs' teams. I think I had it like best team, then worst team, then best team, like top tiers. So yeah, I actually put that team probably in the top tier. I know you guys don't really want to hear about my team, so you guys can need to hear about me talk about my team. Let's go. Holy crap. You guys are still listening. I love you. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I already know. I think as it loads, I think I would take Jacobs' team over Suarez. I might take Noah's over his. No, I would not. Okay. Huh. Okay, I don't think I could take. So, his team, this is Suarez team, is Josh Allen. Running backs are TreVeyon Henderson and Isaiah Pacheco. Wide receivers are Lamb, London, and Hill. Tight end is Evan Ingram. Flexes are Cortland Sutton and Tyrone Tracy. So this one's actually going to be a pretty easy one. I think this one, a pretty fast one. I think this could be the best wide receiver court easy. I think Tyreek Hill with the torn wrist ligament last year, and you miss a QB for 8 weeks. I really think he might just bounce back, and at wide receiver 3, he could be insane. I think Drake London, if Penix is even just above average quarterback, middling quarterback, could be a top 3 wide receiver just off target share alone. Josh Allen, stud. Tyrone Tracy, second flex, pass catching guy. I respect it. Sutton. Honestly, I've seen some of you guys' team. Sutton or Xavier Worthy. Sutton or who else did somebody have? Oh man, I'm blanking. Oh, DK Metcalf, and I love DK Metcalf. Just like I think it's fun to watch him. But this guy's flex is better than a lot of people's, like easily better than some people's wide receivers 3s, and some even better than some people's wide receiver 2s. It's just gonna fall on the running backs. Pacheco, they haven't really got anybody. They got that 7th round running back that I personally like, Rashard Smith, and then it's TreVeyon Henderson. TreVeyon Henderson, I think, is going to be like, in my opinion, he is the biggest story of fantasy this year. The biggest question mark. Is this going to be a guy who is on an ascending offense and will just dominate with efficiency and pass catching? Or are we too ahead of our skis with Drake May in a new offensive system behind a poor offensive line with an injury-prone running back who is going to be in a split backfield with a competent running backs behind him? Antonio Gibson and Ramondre Stevenson, say what you want, they're competent. Okay, they're not I don't know. They're not like Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt with the ghost of Austin Eckler. Okay, maybe people can call me crazy. I would take. I think people can't call me crazy. I would take Antonio Gibson and Ramondre Stevenson over what Eckler is now. So, yeah, if TreVeyon Henderson's top 5 running back, I will put my money that this team's in the playoffs. Easy. If TreVeyon Henderson is running back 12 and Isaiah Pacheco is running back 15 and Tyreek Hill's a little washed and Denver, Bo Nix has a sophomore slump and Tracy loses his job, you see that, then we're like, Now he has Ramondre. He has his handcuff. I just noticed that. Joe Mixon, I don't think Joe Mixon's playing at all this year. And I don't believe in Jaden Higgins. And I think Demario Douglas and Tillman are interesting flexes. They are interesting flexes. I just noticed he has Kareem Hunt. He has his bench. And I do notice he has Brandon Ayuk. I do like this team. I like the team because it has upside on the bench and he has his handcuffs. Alejandro, he had his handcuffs, and I thought he had zero upside. Mixon, he could come back. He could. He really could for the last 3 weeks. Ayuk could come back for the last 8 weeks. And what was I going to say? Oh, Ayuk tearing everything in his knee. I'm not expecting some great, amazing comeback. But if Tyron Tracy lost his job, if Courtland Sutton got injured, I would take a hobbled Ayuk over what's going to be on the waiver wire week 7 or 8. I hope you guys, get what I'm saying. Then I do like Cedric Tillman. But I don't. Kyle Williams and Jaden Higgins are like my 2 least favorite rookie wide receivers. I didn't think that was funny. But a lot of people like Higgins. He could be a wide receiver, flex, whatever. So, good team. Good team. I think on draft day I said I didn't like it, and then it grew on me. I'm still thinking about Jacob having Rashid Shaheed and what Rashid Shaheed was doing last year. I don't think he's going to be wide receiver 7 through the first 6 weeks, but still. Hunter's team was honestly cracked. If he had Rashid Shaheed all year, yeah, he would have been cracked. And he played the champion in the first round too, the eventual champion. Oh my goodness. How many teams do I have left? I think I have 2 more. Oh man, we got 3 more left. Man, so I have been yapping. So I think I'd have Tony's team. I think I have it. I think it's better than mine. Starters are Joe Burrow, Bucky Irving, Alvin Kamara. His wide receivers, Chase, Lad McConkey, Jerry Jeudy. Tight end is Kelsey. Flexes are David Montgomery and Khalil Shakir. All right, no, I don't think this team's better than my team. Hell no. But I like it. He's got the stack, and it's a very important stack. It's a very deadly stack. Jamar Chase is the kind of player that you could have a pretty booty rest of your receiving core, and it'll still serve you well. This team is honestly, it's like Stawara's. I'll just say that. I think now I'm seeing it here. The strength is in the wide receivers. It's Jamar Chase, Lad, and Jerry Jeudy. I had Pacheco and Travion Henderson. So I think he's got him probably beat in the running back department. I just don't think Kamara and Irving are sure things. I know people love Bucky Irving, love Kamara. There's probably some people out there that think this team is cracked. I just don't believe. I think the Lions are going to be losing more games. They're going to be down more. You're not going to have as many positive game scripts. You're not going to see David Montgomery out there pounding the rock in the fourth quarter as much. Bucky Irving, they lose their coordinator. He became a workhorse like halfway through the season and then got hurt twice. So, and then Kamara, I honestly think that offense is bad enough to keep my boy down. I love my boy. I love Kamara. But I think this is, he's not going to be the RB5 or RB6 when he was just getting peppered by Derek Carr. I don't see it. And then the touchdown upside is like not like he could have like 4 touchdowns. Everyone else, Judy could go nuclear. I think that as long as Joe Flacco's playing. I think that's probably where I'll stop. I'll say as long as Rashee Rice is out and Joe Flacco is playing, this is a playoff team. This team could come out like 5-1. Alvin Kamara is healthy. Bucky Irving is fresh. I could see that, J.K. Dobbins on the bench. He could be starting. Keenan Allen. But I could see this team the second half of the season. Bucky Irving's getting banged up. Kamara is cooked. He's a 30. Lad McConkey got hurt like twice last year. Judy's now playing with Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur. Travis Kelce now has Rashee Rice in the slot with him. J.K. Dobbins lost his job. Keenan Allen, I mean, I guess Keenan Allen is just if Vlad gets hurt. I guess you have Keenan Allen. Maybe that was the idea. Jawan Jennings has Ayuk back, in the second. So, and then the bench, Tajay Spears, Wan'Dale Robinson, Hunter Henry, Justin Fields, Kate on. I don't care about those guys. I don't really. So, no upside on the bench. I will also mention that. None of these guys on the bench. Jawan Jennings, he's not going to win you your league or win this team the league. It's just going to be right in the stack. And I think hopefully you get a good enough lead where you can that record early in the season keeps you in it. Because I do think second half of the season this team could fall apart. I'm not really liking just not really liking some of the offensive scenarios that honestly seem kind of plausible. So oh. I think I'm losing a little bit of steam here. Honestly, guys, I didn't mean to do it like this. I was just pushing them off because, like, David's one is pretty quick. I don't think we're the top 2 teams. Honestly, looking at everybody's, I think it would be Jacob Stawara, and actually, I think I put me, Jacob Stawara, and me. Never mind, I lied. I'll put mine. So. With David's team, I like the flexes. Mooney and Downs could be good flexes. Tyler Warren kind of just seems like you're keeping him away from somebody else. This team is, can it stay afloat until Rashee Rice comes back? I think Michael Pittman and Travis Hunter is really scary at wide receiver. And honestly, this is just, I know this isn't good, like projecting injury, but if Matthew Stafford gets hurt and you got a Stafford-less Puka, a Travis Hunter playing 50-50, Michael Pittman with Daniel Jones, and then your other wide receiver, you still got Rashee Rice not until week 6. Then you got Downs. You don't want to start Downs and Pittman. I don't want to analyze this too much because he didn't pick this team. I do like Jadon Blue as a flex, maybe upside pass catching back. I don't mind it. It's just going to have to be – this one's going to just be based off of can McCaffrey stay healthy and Mahomes get back to prime form. Because I like James Conner at the flex. I like Trey McBride at the tight end a lot. I like Chase Brown at the second running back, but this team's upside, it doesn't make up for how risky it is. It does have upside. Travis Hunter, like Travis Hunter could be the absolute truth, and you could have 2 top 5 running backs, and this team still isn't the best in the league. You don't have a running quarterback. It's still not because the wide receiver 3. But I'm thinking about it more. If Travis Hunter is the truth, I love Travis Hunter, and Stafford stays healthy, and Rashee Rice is the stack. It's his stack with Patrick Mahomes. I like it. I do like it. So, I hope I've made enough player takes. I hope I'm not jumping around people's teams. I think I've been making enough player takes on people's teams. Honestly, guys, The videos will get better. I've been a little, I don't know. I don't know if I'm just a little, like right there, I didn't pick my team. I'm just going to go to my team. I'll be a little more eloquent the next time I record. Looked at some of these players just in general, not even on this team. Just look at it so many times that my mind just auto groups them into a place. Like not a factor, or no upside. And it's like, well, we can get into it. I could get into it more, but I think I'm already past the hour mark. So this is my team now. This here is, I gotta say, I didn't want this build. Okay, I wanted Achane and AJ Brown, and I went Nico Collins and Brian Thomas. I love Travis Hunter, but I watched some Brian Thomas. I fell in love. I'm not going to go into why I took every one of these players. I'm not going to do that. Okay. All I'm going to say is this build has what it takes to win it all without trades. And that's kind of how I've started building my teams the last 2 years. People aren't really trading with me as much. So I do need to build riskier teams. The teams, doubling, tripling up on these safe guys late in the rounds isn't going to do anything for me when I can't trade them. So I'm shooting for upside. Really here, it's George Pickens on a new offense. Best passer of his career. Brian Brian Thomas with a way better coordinator. Kenneth Walker coordinator. I'm hitting scheme. I'm hitting scheme with these three guys. Waddle, I'm just betting on Tua being healthy. Golden, maybe it's a homer pick, but if Golden's a wide receiver too, if he's a top 15 wide receiver, top 20 wide receiver, I think Golden could be, if he's a wide receiver one on the Packers, I think he could be the 20th best wide receiver in the NFL. He's my 5th wide receiver. He's my 2nd flex. I'm a lead at quarterback. It's really just going to depend on tight end. I need Colson Love or Kyle Pitts to hit for this truly to be elite. But I got a lot of outs with the running backs, and that's where I was going to finish. I really wish I got Zach Charbonnet because I know Zach Charbonnet is going to be the workhorse. And Kenneth Walker scares me. He does scare me. Not analytically, not eye test, just how injured he gets. Tony Pollard was a godsend because Tyjae Spears was a high ankle sprain. I'm just hoping he can be kind of sick for the first 6 weeks. And then on my bench, I find out the answer. By the time Tony Pollard maybe slows down or becomes a committee with Tyjae Spears, I find out, okay, is Travis Etienne getting replaced? Is Quinshon Judkins, is he in a committee with Dylan Sampson? Is one of them better than the other? Is he even going to be on the team? I trust Trey Benson to be the workhorse if James Conner gets hurt. Brian Robinson. Don't really like the guy that much, but on the 49ers, McCaffrey gets hurt, I win. Luther Burden. Guy was supposed to be a first-round pick that kind of slid. And then Egbuka. I think Egbuka could be insane trade bait. And even if he's not trade bait, he's a bet on one of my wide receivers busting. Really, the only negative I see with this team is running back. Kenneth Walker gets hurt week 4. I'm in big trouble. Big trouble. I'm starting Travis Etienne and Tony Pollard. That's not good. And there's not a lot of – there's other teams that are like that. I don't know if it's as bad as that because I also don't have a tight end. I might not. I legit – I love Kyle Pitts, and I have a high hope for Loveland. I legit might have an 8-point tight end. Waddle's injury concerns. Nico Khan was getting hurt last year. So I got some sus players. I definitely do. I don't have depth at the running back position. But this double tight end strategy has done me well for several years. I can't put this team as average when if everybody hits their ceiling, it's elite. It's like I'm the one thing I guess it would be, I think probably to be the best team, and this will be the name. I think to be the best team, I would need to get somebody besides Tony Pollard. I think he's going to have a better season than last year because of the better offense and stuff. But even if Travis Etienne isn't washed and all of this stuff was talk, although there are running backs around him, and even if Trey Benson becomes the workhorse, I feel like it would have to be Brian Robinson being like a juiced up Jordan Mason to be my second running back, or Joe Flacco is the quarterback all season and Dylan Sampson or Quinshon Judkins don't split, or I'm going to have to make a trade or get somebody off the waivers. I don't think this could be. I will, humble myself a little and say this can't be the best team. Unlike, I do think Jacobs' team and Stawara's teams could be the best, just as standalone. I don't think they need like any like major wins, whatever. Anyways, guys, sorry, I really got to go. My booty's about to explode. I'm gonna go play Hogwarts Legacy. Okay, holy crap. Peace out, everybody. What the heck?